Okay, so now let's get into Elegance, the song. Let me just have some tea. I need a refill. So the song Elegance, I feel like it's in the name itself. Like, elegance represents so many things, and when I think of elegance, I think of like the woman I was raised by, the women that are really independent boss bitches. Hello. Boss woman. Independent boss women in my lives who basically they don't need a man to fulfill their desires.
A woman real quick, so baby fucking on your nigga. Listen, I like fancy shit, yeah, fancy bitch, yeah, I want that Montclair, $1,000 car, I am so top tier, only ballers here, if you were broke, nigga, I don't have a kid, I like my name skinny, yeah, with a bit of belly, a smudge of gray hair, ooh, so to make the feels, I have a lot.
Okay, so that part where I go, I like my men skinny, yeah, with a bit of belly. Okay, a smudge of gray hair, salt and pepper feels. So that was a reference to my boyfriend. So my boyfriend is like a professional athlete. He's the head coach of a team, and if you know me, then you know who my boyfriend is. I'm not here to talk about him because then he's gonna steal my spotlight. I mean, and that's not nice. That's one of the things about dating a celebrity, is that they'll take your spotlight. So I was just saying a reference to him, saying like, you know, he's like skinny, you know, well built, because he plays football, so that's why he's skinny. But like, since the pandemic started, he's gained a bit of weight. He's got a little bit of a belly, but I still love him. And then like, I'm like, with this bunch of gray hair, salt and pepper feels. And that's because like our age, the age gap between me and my boyfriend is like really huge. It's like 2 decades and some, but we'll get into those politics later. So let's continue with the song.
That is so fucking shifty. I won't struggle with it.
I won't hold you down.
All these bills pile up, need me bus, bitch, bustin' hustle, yeah. You see this here?
Okay, so this is my favorite part of the song, where I'm like, I won't struggle with you, I won't hold you down, while these bills pile up, you be a boss, bitch, bustin' hustle, yeah. Basically, this part of the song is like, I'm sorry, I feel like within patriarchy, I feel like patriarchy was designed during a time when arranged marriages still existed, and the concept of marriage was to marry into a family to either boost your position within society or boost you know, the wealth of the family name, hence why you ended up taking like your husband's last name, because, you know, usually, yeah, that whole concept. But I know in some places in the world, it's the man who marries into the daughter's family, and then he handles her wealth, basically, that she has inherited from her father. Let's say if it's a family where like they have no sons. But anyways, too much detail. So now in modern day patriarchy, we are in the beginning of the century, not century, girl, decade, English, in the beginning of the decade. I think modern day patriarchy, in this day and age, women have rights. We work, we earn an income, but there's still like a gender pay gap within that. So I feel like you also have like men who aren't necessarily wealthy, but they not stable either. Like, they just have no form of income coming in, and they broke and all of that. And yet still within patriarchy and misogyny, you're expected as a woman to hold a man down even during you know, his trials or whatever, and uplift him. So the burden is placed on a woman. Yet when it's the other way around, if I'm a woman and I don't have any money at all and I'm struggling, like in modern day society, that would be frowned upon. It would be very hard for me to find a man who wants to, in inverted commas, look after me. So that's why I was like, that's why I felt it was very important to reiterate, I won't struggle with you, I won't hold you down, I need to be a boss bitch, bust and hustle, yeah. So get your own money and find a nigga who can match your coin, period. Match your coin or elevate it, period. That's what the babies are about. Okay, let's continue. It's buffering. Okay, this part. You see this hair I wear? You see this hair I wear? You see these white toes? You feel my skin is butter, a cat woman babe. It's in the lyrics itself, like you see me.
If you know me, a belly. I heard his friends gon' make a pussy eating Batman. I heard her friends gon' need that bitch above the average. I'm cooking concepts, never find me in the kitchen. I dish it humble, flex you and still watching bitches. I keep it clean, that's rich and you see on my top. Nigga.
This is my favorite part. I feel like here is where I do like metaphors and stuff. So it's like, I heard his friends call me the pussy eating magnet. And I got that reference because in Megan Thee Stallion's Fuck me man, Girls in the Hood, she's like, I'm a rich nigga magnet. And I was like, oh, I like that line. Let me think about how I can turn it to myself. I'm like, pussy eating magnet, because I mean, which bitch doesn't like getting a pussy ate? I mean, period. I heard her friends call me that bitch above the average. So within my industry, I feel like I have a lot of people who either try to compete with me or try to compare themselves to me or talk about me or whatever. And it's funny because sometimes people will go and try to do banter about you, but then they'll go to those people and they'll be like, no, she's that bitch, she's above the average. And then the next time I'm cooking concepts, never find me in the kitchen. I dish a humble flexi insta watching bitches. So like, I'm always thinking about what's the next move, what's the next concept, when am I gonna get my master's by, when do I need to like buy my first property, buy my first car, and all of that. Like, this is all in my head. So I'm cooking concepts, but you will not find me in the kitchen. Like, I don't cook, I don't clean, I'm not domesticated. Like, I've always thought of myself like that. I don't cook, clean. I will hire staff to do that. I don't do it myself. And then I dish it humble flexi insta watching bitches. So basically, there are a lot of people on my Instagram who just watch my stories just to see what it is I'm doing, but they won't interact with what I'm doing. So I'll be like, I'm selling this, swipe up, share, blase and all of that, but they won't do it. And I don't mind that because you're not obligated to. But when I see you moving funny and you're starting to copy exactly what I'm doing, I've had many instances where people have tried to duplicate my business or duplicate my concepts, my creativity, and all of that, and try to hone it into their own, and they have failed dismally. Yet I'm still here, BAAB Media Group, period. It's not about followers, it's not about numbers, it's not about insights. It's about building a brand and being sustainable with it. So yeah, so that's what you insta watching bitches is about. Also, I read something the other day that I came across on my Instagram, which is basically saying like, your friends and family are not your fans, you need to build your own fan base. And that's when I had my biggest aha moment, because I've been at peace ever since. I just dropped my creativity, my music, and what I need to drop, but I have no expectations whatsoever for people that I'm acquainted with, people that I know, people that are friends, people that are family, to like promote it for me. I have zero expectations because you're not my fan. And I've actually started to like now build a fan base, and it's working really well. I call them my babies. You guys are my babies. So yeah, next. Okay, let me tell you, for those of you who don't know, because a lot of you are not gonna get that line, where I go ice skiing on my Swiss Alps wrist. So like ice skiing on my Swiss Alps wrist. I really wish I had a bust down watch, like a watch where I could put a little bit of diamonds. There's also this other really beautiful Cartier diamond watch that I want. So that's the ice, that's skiing. And I say on my Swiss Alps wrist because it's cold in Switzerland. They ski, it's known for its skiing culture, and I also studied in Switzerland, you know, so that's like my reference to Switzerland. Skiing, I started skiing on my Swiss Alps wrist. And then I go stainless. I'm referring back to the watch. It should be like stainless, like the floating cubes in my cup. So I was on TikTok the other day and I found that this girl that I follow on there had stainless steel ice cubes. So instead of like having the water tray and you fill it up with water and then you put it in the fridge and you have to wait a really long time or whatever for the ice to freeze, why not take a more environmentally friendly route and have stainless steel cubes? So I was like, okay, that's cool, I want some. And then I looked for some on Amazon and I ordered them. So that's where you go. I'm running out of time, so let's see if I can just quickly finish. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one super fast. This one is the last verse after the second chorus, and this part I was like, okay, I just decided to talk about my man because the beat literally like stops and it goes through like a breakdown session where it goes without the piano keys in the background. So let's just rewind.
Took a trip to Maldives with my fucking man. Dinner dates overseas, that's my fucking man. Top tier, lux views with my fucking man. And if I broke it, say something to my fucking man.
Okay, so took a trip to Maldives with my fucking man. Dinner dates overseas, that's my fucking man. Top tier lux views with my fucking man. Never broke it, say something to my fucking man. So like, why I say took a trip to Maldives? No, me and my boyfriend have never taken a trip to the Maldives. We were in the middle of planning our vacation and then the pandemic happened and then the borders closed and then it was just like, you know, chaos everywhere. So our first vacation that we were planning was to go through Europe, and the second vacation was to go to the Maldives and, you know, just have some cocktails on the beach and relax and just, you know, but it didn't happen. We'll see. I know traveling won't be the same after this, so
let her get comfortable with my fucking man. Let her think she about to fuck my fucking man.
Okay, then the second part is like, and if a broke bitch says something to my fucking man, let her get comfortable with my fucking man. Let her think she gonna fuck my fucking man. So with my mentality here is that like I just don't like broke anything. If it's a broke man, if it's a broke bitch, like if it's a broke anything, I don't like it at all. So I was like, because my boyfriend is a professional athlete, obviously he's gonna have like a lot of like women trying to like get their 15 minutes of fame and throw themselves at him. But if he accepts it, that's also on him. But that's how I go, like, let her get comfortable. I'll allow her to get comfortable. I'll allow her to think that she's gonna, you know, do something with him. And even to the point, like, you know, we're gonna fly her out. We're gonna fly her out and she's gonna think that she's just meeting my man, and I'll just be there on the side also, and I'll be like, oh, you didn't know? He didn't tell you?
Where we at? Left in my face, power goals, yeah, can't relate.
Okay, so this part I'm being super mean. So I'm like, after we fly her out, we both laugh in her face. And this part, okay, this wouldn't happen in real life, but I was like, okay, it's a song, let me just see what I fantasize about. So we fly her out and then we laugh in her face and we leave her right there. She'll find her own way home. And then I say power couple, power goals, and you can't relate.
I was building empires, you was building followers. We are not in the same league, we are not on in the same bitch, run up a scammer, please.
Okay, so this part is very, very important. It goes like, I was building empires and you were building followers. So a lot of people think that running a business is based on how many followers you have, and that's false. That's a lie. I think social media has glamorized what owning a business is like, and it's very, very emotionally draining, and you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm like, I was building empires while you were building followers. So people are focused on like, oh, that person has 2 million followers, that person has 3 million followers. Yes, that's amazing. Wow, amazing. But what happens when you die? your influence dies with you. That's why it's so important to like create a lasting legacy, a lasting narrative, a lasting story where even after you die there's something that still remains. So that's why I'm always like, please don't call me an influencer. I have like 3 businesses, and even after I'm gone, those businesses will be passed on to either like my daughters, my sons, you know, all of that, period.
Bitch, run up a drug dealer. That bitch her, I will not deal with her.
And that's in the song. I want that mom quick. That's a dollar clap. And so top tier. Money boss dear. If you a broke nigga, I don't fucking care, bro. I don't fucking care. And that is Elegance Decoded. And let's get into some things. Let's see what other content we have for you guys here, right here by BAAB FM. This is the Elegance streaming party. Woo-hoo.